City level.
We are here to upgrade and update the existing court number 1 by adding in additional spaces, facilities and the like, but most importantly by adding on an additional moving roof and significant structural steel frame to support the moving roof.
Prater's scope of works is primarily to do with all the waterproofing, all the roofing, all the cladding, soffits, bullnoses, pretty much the whole external facade. Well, the project's been split into 3 phases. We're currently nearing the end of phase 2. We're sort of 60–70% of the way through the project. There's still a lot of work to be done on the inner bowl, consisting of Bailey's rain screen cladding and soffits. We've got rain screen on top of the beam or roof sheets as well. We can only bring materials in within 3 days of us having to use them. There's not a lot of storage around here, there's not a lot of areas that we can land materials. We've had to plan when deliveries come in and when they're going to be used. And all the roofing, which is the BMO, a lot of them are very steep pitches. So we've had to use a lot of harnesses, work positioning lines and leading edge, which is probably the biggest thing we've had to do from a health and safety point of view. Personally, I'm extremely proud of this job. It's been so complex, probably the most technical job that I've ever been involved with.
Scope of works that Bailey are delivering to the project are the fascias and soffits, both in the outer bowl and on the inner bowl, with the inner bowl soffits having lots of penetrations for grass jet nozzles, lights and ventilation.
So the roof structure and the steelwork supporting it created a faceted shape, while the architect wanted to see a very smooth, continuous roof surface. In order to overcome that challenge, we developed the BMO Flex system to suit the project specifically. What that does is that allows a faceted surface to meet with a smooth surface while being overcome by that substructure.
Our BIM was essential on this project because of the geometry of the bowl. You just cannot take into account all the interfaces. The M&E up there is very complex, and where it comes through our finishes, we have to be spot on with our openings. And it's come to fruition, and it's landing on site now and it's looking good.
It's very important. The relationship that we've built up together over the last 35 years now has ensured that we work together closely. We know how each other work, and it just forms the trust that's required.
Having a trusted supply chain means that you can focus on the programme itself and delivering that programme, knowing that everything behind the scenes is going to work correctly. Radmat are responsible for delivering the waterproofing and the insulation as part of the specification.
Planning and collaboration between BMO and Prater was vital in the early stages. It was critical that phase 1 was finished well in advance of the 2017 championship so the stadium could be used. In order to achieve this, Prater and BMO collaborated closely with Sir Robert McAlpine to develop a programme that would suit the site. Part of this involved building off-site mock-ups, which allowed Prater to understand the complexities of the BMO system, how it goes together and how long it will take to install.
We tendered the project as a competitive tender. There were a number of facets to Prater picking up the work. Number 1 is they'd obviously come in with a very competitive price. Number 2, Prater and SRM have a long-term working relationship. And number 3, I personally have a long-term working relationship with Prater. So those 3 elements combined made it an easy decision. So collaboration on this project is desperately needed and has actually gone very, very well to date. Probably the main reason why is because of the complexity of the structural steel in and around an existing structure that is then clad and then still supports the moving trusses later on down the line. Prater's methods of work have been one of good communication, good explanation of what they need and why they need it, and how other subcontractors influence both what they need and when they need it. So all of that sort of positive approach to work, to coordinating, to collaborating has certainly helped in the methods that Prater used to deliver the court number 1 static roof.
I think this project typifies what Prater are all about. With a strong design, with a strong supply chain, we are comfortable in overcoming a job of this scale and magnitude and complexity.